Welcome to NuttieBuddie Sports. Previewing the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So last year, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they finished, let's see here, 9-7. Did they make the playoffs? They made the playoffs last year, right? And they got their first round exit. Okay, so let's start this time with, let's start with you, Ryan. What's the big question do you have for the Steelers?
It's got to be who plays quarterback, right?
Yeah, that's mine too. Yeah.
Is it going to be Trubisky or is it going to be Pickett? And then also, I did write down if they could fix their run D. They got a new D coordinator, Terrell Austin. So I don't know if you knew this, but the Steelers had the worst rush D in the NFL last year, 32. That's very un-Steeler-like.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to possess the ball more with a rookie QB because I think they'll go with Pickett, and their run D's got to get better.
Okay, yeah, I like I said, I had the same one. Who is going to be their quarterback? You don't have Mason Rudolph part of that, huh? You've seen enough of him. No, I'm just kidding. Travis, what's your biggest question for that?
Isn't Mason Rudolph basically the exact same player as Brissett, basically?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Sure.
Mine was the same thing, but I'm just wondering when they make the quarterback switch, will that quarterback actually stick, or will they be like, nope, we need to pull Pickett back out and put Trubisky back in type of deal? So basically, I'm just looking to see if they're going to find consistency at the quarterback position.
Yeah. I hope, like, I sort of hated the year when the Dolphins did that with Tua, where they were like pulling him out for Ryan Fitzpatrick and then they'll put him back in and pull him out it's like, just stick with one guy and see what you got, because that's really how players grow. So if they decide to go with Pickett right away, just let him be the quarterback, let Kenny Pickett cook. And, or if you go with Trubisky, give him a couple weeks and then go with your rookie if he isn't doing it for you. But yeah, that's a good question. Can they find that consistency? Okay, let's go to our next topic. Favorite offseason move for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you got for us, Travis? What's your favorite offseason move?
Oh, the best move in the entire NFL is Roethlisberger is gone. So we don't have to worry about him anymore. And this one's for Luke. He's probably very disappointed, but they got Miles Jack. So, Ryan, that should help on the defensive end that you were talking about.
Yeah. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I wrote Miles Jack too. Going out and help sure up the D. And then Larry Ogunjobi. So he's played for the Browns, the Bengals, and now the Steelers. So I think next year he'll be on Baltimore. But he's good wherever he goes. So a couple of those guys on D, I think, will help out with the rush defense a little bit, because I think their secondary and pass rush is already solid.
Yeah, I had Jack as well as my favorite move. I just think, like, when you can take a guy like that who's shown signs of being like an all-pro type player, and you could take him out of incompetence and put him in a good situation. Sorry, Luke. It's more likely that he'll show that all-pro type of player again. I like, Mike Tomlin as a coach. I think their defense is going to be better because I think their offense is going to move the ball better this year, so the defense won't be on the field as much. So I'm not as worried about the run defense. I think a lot of times with the Steelers last year, their defense just got worn down because their quarterback couldn't throw it more than 5 yards downfield. So on 3rd and 7, he's throwing a 2-yard pass, get a 3 and out or whatever. So anyway, I really like what they did to their defense in the offseason as well. So, okay. Least favorite move of the offseason for the Steelers. Ryan, you got one for us?
Yeah, it seems like they're rolling out with the same offensive line. They brought in Cole at center, who's decent, but I was kind of surprised. I mean, it's not that they have to pass block so much because they throw so fast, like they did with Roethlisberger, but it's the opening up the running lanes. And then the fact they changed the name of Heinz Field to Acrisure Stadium,
Yeah, that's fair.
got rid of the big ketchup bottles. Everyone is gonna call it Heinz Field forever. Don't give me Acrisure Stadium or whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah, no thanks. I love that one. And I'm with you on not fixing the offensive line as well. Or putting more resources towards it, I should say. Travis, how about you?
I don't have one, but just the fact that they cut these two guys who have some sweet names, Tazar Skipper and Master Teague. Why would you not want any of those guys on your team? Is my question.
That's a fair point.
Probably because they have a Fryermuth, a Okorafor, a Minka Fitzpatrick. You know, they got some good names still. Ogunjobi.
They keep a guy named Marcus Allen. Where do we need that guy for? Okay, perfect. Okay, let's move on. What will make the season a success or a failure? Let's start with Travis on this one for the Steelers.
Well, it goes along with the big question, but basically establishing which quarterback is going to be their focal point for the year and hopefully their future. How old is Trubisky? Is he almost 30 or is he like 26-ish?
Thought he was close. He's 28. He's 28.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he could still be their quarterback, but yeah, basically just figuring out what they're gonna do there.
Yeah, no, that's a good barometer for success. How about you, Ryan?
I know you said we're kind of down on them in the beginning, but I do think they were 8-8 team with Duck Hodges a few years ago playing. So Tomlin and that staff will kind of will them to wins. I really wouldn't be surprised if they won 8 or 9 games. I don't think that's with Trubisky. I never thought I'd say Trubisky is leading the Steelers to win at Acrisure Stadium. That just seems wrong on all 3 levels. So I can more see Pickett, who played ball at Pitt. It's kind of that hometown kid that everybody likes right now. There, you know, as soon as Trubisky, if he does start, has kind of like a Trubisky kind of game where he's not playing the Lions on Thanksgiving, which is when he would usually light it up.
That was a cheap shot.
Then they bring in Pickett, you know, and go to him. And he's got plenty of weapons, and they got Najee Harris. So I think they could, and a good defense. So I think 8 or 9 wins.
Yeah, I think they can make the playoffs this year. Obviously, like they'll be in the running for a wild card, in my opinion. I think they can make the division a little bit more competitive as well. So I just have, a successful season, playoffs. I just like, it kind of goes into an additional question I have, like Ben Roethlisberger, right? That's like what is that? A addition by subtraction, right? Like you can put any quarterback back there, not any, but like I trust Mitchell Trubisky and or Pickett over Roethlisberger, right? Like because the offense's hands were so tied the last 2 years, he couldn't throw the ball more than 5 yards. So I just don't see how the offense isn't just better by having a more competent throw of the football than Roethlisberger. Am I wrong?
Well, and he never took responsibility for anything. Or if, like, I know when Deontay Johnson had problems with drops, he would say stuff like, all I can do is throw it, I'm not the one catching it. He would never, like, back up players on the team, basically. When they had problems, he would kind of, like, make excuses for himself. And, I don't think it was endearing to other teammates. And then even Cam Hayward said something about that this offseason about Roethlisberger. So, like you said, it could be addition just by not having his attitude on the team.
Truly one of the worst players in the NFL. Also, they were like, weren't they like 13-0 2 years ago, and then they lost or whatever, and then they had that game against the Browns where they lost, and then ever since then he's been even like the worst of the worst since then. So
that I kind of give the defense more of the credit for that 13-0 start, and I also say it was like smoke and mirrors. Like all it was like short passes in the the receivers would do the work. That's basically I'm if I'm remembering it correctly. But I just like, Claypool had a down year last year. Juju Smith-Schuster wasn't really good last year. The receiving core wasn't that great last year. And it's like the common denominator is Roethlisberger. And the teams could just stack, players in the box because they knew that Roethlisberger couldn't throw it over their heads. So if you can get like Trubisky back there, I just feel like he's going to make that offense like 20% better. And they finished 27th last year. So, if they can get up to like 20th in offense and get that defense to a Steeler type defense, I could see them playing a lot of close games and winning, 9 to 10 games.
So we're going to see some more Steelers-Ravens 3-0 victories.
Justin Tucker nailing that 67-yard field goal at the end of the game to win it 3-0. Yeah.
The 2 top paid kickers in the league battling it out.
Yeah. And then Boswell, is it? He'll miss the game tying field goal from 47. So
it's tough to kick at Acrisure Stadium. I can't even say it. I keep messing it up.
Worcestershire.
Okay, guys. Over under for the Steelers, 7.5 wins. So let's start with Travis. Oh, wait. Any other additional questions for the Steelers? Are we good on that? Good on the Steelers? Okay. Real quick. Pickett or Trubisky? Who do you think they start?
Week 1, Trubisky, I think.
Travis?
Same, but I think Pickett's going to end up being the starter.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Okay. Over under 7.5 wins, Ryan?
I'm going over. I think 8-9 or 9-8 sounds about right, in my opinion.
Yeah. What about you, Travis?
We're all on the same wavelength. I got them at 8 and 9.
Okay, I got them at 9 and 8, but 8 and 9 is fine too. I have them over, so I believe in them so much more than you guys do. That whole extra win.
Still speaking into existence. Are you sure?
It's a 20% better.
Since let me see here. Since Mike Tomlin has never finished below 500, right, in his career.
I think that's right. Yeah.
So if he goes 8 and 9, it would be the first season he does that. Just saying, it's not going to happen.
If you go 8-1, is that 500?
Technically, yes.
Okay, just wonder.
The Steelers. I feel like every year there's always a tie, and the Steelers are always one of the teams that have the tie. It's like them and the Eagles.
They tied last year. With the Lions, I believe.
Well, remember the last game, if the Raiders and Chargers tied, it would have knocked the Steelers out of the playoffs. So in that case, I was rooting for a tie because the Steelers had gotten that tie earlier, like Ryan said. Yeah. And then they ended up having the tiebreaker over the Chargers.
Yeah. I think it would have been more funny, though, if the Steelers went 8-1. The first year that they changed the schedule to 17 games. Like he still hasn't finished below 500. He's got that tie in there. That would have been hilarious. Anyway. Okay, you ready to talk about your Bengals, Travis? Thanks so much for watching this clip of NuttieBuddie Sports. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you'd like to listen to the rest of the podcast, click on one of the links down below. And if you want to give us your thoughts on any team in any division, let us know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you guys soon.